everybody, good morning. It's Kristen with Hasta Cielo y Más. Today is Friday, October the 6th, 2017, and I'm coming to you with a duodenal switch update. I do not know which one, but it'll be in the bottom. So I am filming today from a different location, and I have a little bit of show and tell today and so much to talk about. I'll try to make it brief. I had the duodenal switch last December the 13th, 2016, after a 3 or 4 month keto diet on which I lost 64 pounds. My high weight last summer was over 450 pounds, and I've lost to date over 183 pounds. Since surgery, I've lost about 104 pounds. So many of you might recall that last week I was put on prednisone for shingles and neuralgia. And I did have a little bit of a gain after my weigh-in last week. My doctor's appointment was on Tuesday. My weigh-in is Tuesday. So last week on Tuesday, I was 266.8 pounds. And I had about a 5-pound weight gain with the prednisone. But by weigh-in on Tuesday this week, I was down to the 266.8 pounds. So no loss this week, no gain, which is awesome. And I guess I would have been a little greedy to have expected more than a 5-pound weight loss, which was the 5 pounds from the prednisone. So I have a lot to talk about today, and I'm going to try to be coherent, but no guarantees. It's been a crazy week. I've had some grumpy teenagers this morning, so it's just been a crazy morning. But I have been posting quite a bit on Instagram this week. I am doing the EMMERICH 30-day Ketogenic Cleanse that I've actually modified for myself. In the cleanse, you give up caffeine, dairy, and nuts. I chose, because I don't suspect any allergies, to give up sugar alcohols because I was becoming rather dependent on them daily. So I have been sweetening my coffee with monk fruit. I've been limiting my caffeine to 1 cup of coffee a day, although I didn't make that goal this week. I did have a couple days where I had 2 cups of coffee. And I have limited my dairy and my nuts. So I have made some pretty radical changes. I am going to give you some stats this week on how my macros look. I had initially started on a 1,200 calorie diet when I first started losing weight. And I was tracking in my MyFitnessPal. I'm a daily tracker, meal by meal tracker. I track in advance of eating. That's how extreme I am. And I'm just really kind of OCD about it. I have a long streak. I would have a much longer streak. I've been tracking for 14 months. The only day I've missed was the day of surgery, which broke my streak, unfortunately. But so I have my keto macros set. Currently, keto macros, if you know about keto, it is higher in fat than protein. But extremely low carb. And I want to shout out to some folks who have been discussing keto this week in their videos. First, I want to shout out to Foodie turned Sleevie, who very excitedly got to meet Matt and Meagha from Keto Connect at a meetup in New York City about a week and a half ago. And so I will link to Foodie's a couple videos that she did, one with Meagha that was awesome, and then her most recent video, which was also awesome. So she has decided to go very low carb, and but not really to increase fat. She mentioned something that is just so salient, which is that the purpose of the additional fat is multifold, but one of them is that increasing fat reduces or increases satiety. You feel full. And by having the sleeve, or by having the DS, which is the sleeve plus intestinal reroute, you are actually already, dealing with decreased need for food, decreased hunger, because we've lost our ghrelin. so the hormonal issues, and then we have, you know, a much smaller stomach. So I when I first started keto was never a high fat keto person. I did do the bulletproof coffee, which is adding fats to your coffee in the morning for an increased fat intake in the morning, but I was sticking to 1,200 calories. So I had to keep my fats kind of low. Now, post-op, most of you know that the DS is a malabsorptive procedure. So my protein is only 50%. So for example, if I get 90 grams of protein, that's only 45 grams of protein, which isn't sufficient. So my goal is about 120 for a 60 grams of protein. I've really never kind of made that. So, and that's mostly due to restriction and food choices, but we'll get into that later. Anyway, and then my fat absorption is only 20%. I malabsorb 80% of fat. So that's one of the kind of beauties of the DS is that, you know, you can eat keto and, you know, you're not really absorbing that fat. So just as an aside, I have an incredible lipid panel. I will try to post it here at the end because I do have a picture of it. I have been so fortunate through this process to see incredible improvement in my cholesterol and triglycerides primarily. My triglycerides are in below 100 now. And when I first started, they were over 250 or about 250. And that is consuming avocados, avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil, bacon fat, bacon, high-fat animal products, quality dairy, heavy whipping cream, butter, Kerrygold is my preferred, and whatever else, kind of nuts that fits the keto profile. So my macros, I'm getting right now 65% fat, 29% protein, and 6% carbs. So this past 5 days, I've done an average for you. My calories have been 1,278. Typically, I try to stay under 1,200, but I have desired to increase a bit recently, and I am really, really good at 1,278. So I'm feeling really positive about that. My total carbs, which I used to be a net carb person, my previous net carbs used to be hovering around 25. This past week, my net carbs have been 13 and my total carbs have been averaging 19.8. Huge difference in going from 25 carbs down to 13. Huge difference. So I just feel completely different. My fat has been averaging 93.8 grams and my protein 94.2 grams average, with a 108 being the highest I've hit this week. So I feel really good. For the first time ever, I've been using these ketone test strips. If you're not familiar with them, you urinate on a little strip. It's a very tiny little strip. You urinate on this little strip right here, and then you compare the color with this chart right here. So you urinate on the strip and compare the color with the chart. So I have never used them. I've had them, but I've never used them. I actually preferred to just keep my carbs super low and expect that I was in ketosis. And I just didn't really think they were super accurate. I've been on keto for 14 months. I've never gone over 30 net carbs ever. So I just figured, you know, I was in keto. And on Sunday when I started, I did check my ketones and I had trace ketones. And when you are fat adapted, these little strips aren't really that effective and they're not really that telltale, because you are fat adapted and you're just not, I don't know. I don't fully understand the science. And that's one of the things I've been doing this week, is trying to learn more about the science and research. There are other monitoring methods, blood ketone monitors and breath ketone monitors, neither of which I can afford. In fact, these strips I got for free from my insurance. which is Humana Medicare. It was just something you could order, and I did, and I never used them. So I have checked my urine a couple times this week, and today I am in moderate ketosis. That means over 40, which I don't really know what the numbers mean. I'm going to research that this week. But so my trace to small amount of ketones earlier in the week have now increased to moderate. So I have a purple. I am now in the purple, and I love purple. So as you can see. So anyway, I am real excited about how my cleanse is going, how my experiment is going. I had been really desiring sweets, not to the extent where I was cheating extensively with real sugar, just because I'm just kind of a radical keto person. But, you know, I was getting lax, and I don't know that I'm expecting a significant weight loss this month. I don't know if that's my anticipation, but I want to see how I feel being an awesome ketoer for a month. I want to see how I feel. Right now, I feel pretty amazing. I feel very energized, very energetic, kind of positive, which is actually a good thing because I'm only on day 6. And if I had not already been in ketosis to some extent, I probably would have experienced some carb detox. But because I really wasn't doing a lot of carbs, I was doing more the sugar alcohols, which is what I've given up this month. You know, I seem to be seeing no keto flu, but just an incredible rush of energy. And once again, that's going from, you know, 30 or 25 or 30 net carbs down to 13 net carbs. So huge difference. I shouted out Foodie turned Sleevie. I also want to shout out Losing It For Me 42, who also has been discussing this in her videos. She mentioned KETO Christina, and I'm going to be putting her link down at the bottom. Please look for that if you're interested. She did a recent video called Keeping Keto Simple, and it was a very, very good video about how when you're in the weight loss phase, you really don't need a lot of extra fat. Once you have kind of fat adapted or gone into ketosis to some extent, you can drop the fat and let your body burn its own fat. So one thing that I did do today was I began intermittent fasting. Last night I had my last meal, which was actually a small meal. My larger meal was at noon. I had my last meal at 5. I have not been snacking at all. I've been doing only meals. Probably a little bit too much food at the meal though, and I've not been feeling that great with the tummy part. But anyway, my last meal was at 5 o'clock, and I had a coffee this morning with no sweetener at all at 6:30. So that is a 13.5-hour fast. I'd like to do 18 hours, work up to that, but I'm not quite there yet. One thing I've noticed this week is that I have not had any gas whatsoever, which is kind of awesome and great. But I've been a bit constipated. So I wanted to do a little more show and tell and show you. This is my favorite laxative product. It's similar to Metamucil. My doctor had recommended Metamucil, but a friend had recommended this. This is called Console. It's a little more expensive. I got it at Walmart. I don't take it daily, although for the next couple weeks I might take it daily. Today was a total cleanse, TMI, but a total cleanse, and I feel a lot better. So that's something that I wanted to share with y'all. And then I want to show you my new purchase. I got Keto Connect Matt and Meagha's silicone muffin pans. It looks just like theirs, so it's probably the same thing. I got it on Amazon. I got the 2-pack, so I got the small ones and the large ones. I have been so envying their muffin pans, muffin tins, silicone muffin tins, and I really wanted to make their bacon chorizo egg cups. And I did do that this week, and they were very, very good. I'm going to make some modifications when I make it next time, but they were very good. Then I also made All Day I Dream About Food almond flour muffins. I had to do something in these things, and I can't use the sweeteners or the sugars. So I made these garlic, it's called All Day I Dream About Food, cheesy garlic bread muffins, and they are amazing with amazing stats. So just really having fun, enjoying my keto world. Kind of takes me back to my beginnings. I was very, very into the Ketogenic Success Facebook page when I first started, way more than WLS or bariatric info. I just was very, I had to lose 70 pounds pre-op. I lost 64 and my surgeon allowed me to have surgery, but I had a lot of weight to lose pre-op, and I did it with keto, and I did it with extremely strict keto with 0 cheats, and that reversed my diabetes entirely. As you know, my mother-in-law's here. I have been checking her sugar daily, several times a day, and her sugars are improving with some diet modifications. I know there have been tremendous diet modifications. I don't exactly know what her diet was in Honduras, but I can make assumptions. And she's had improvement. I've seen a drop in about 120 points off of her sugar level. And I'm very, very excited about that. We do have an appointment this coming Tuesday with a Spanish-speaking primary care doctor. So please keep us in prayer about that. She may need insulin. She definitely needs something because her sugars are approaching 400. Actually right now more closer to 300, which is awesome. So keep us in prayer about that. The house has smelled of tortillas daily since she got here. My family is loving that, but of course I can't eat those at all. I've only had one, and that was a long time ago, so none this week. But because everyone's eating tortillas, I wanted to make tortillas, and I had found the Keto Connect coconut flour tortilla recipe and wanted to do it. And fortunately, Lisa Pickens made them before I did, and I learned a lot from her, and so even though I messed up my recipe a bit, I'm going to be making them again. And it really, really is amazing because we are the taco capital of the world, y'all. I mean, seriously, San Antonio, 80% Hispanic. We are the taco capital of the world. And we eat tortillas at every meal. Literally, no joke. And I've had to give up tortillas. And I've tried the jicama tortillas, and you know, I guess I haven't really tried any other tortillas, but I've tried the jicama tortillas, and I've tried using lettuce wraps and stuff like that. But, you know, nothing really replaces a tortilla when you live in the taco capital of the world. So I like these coconut flour tortillas. They're made with coconut flour and egg whites, and they're good. I like them. So let's see if I talked about everything. Pretty much. Oh, no. I got a couple other things. I wanted to say that Lisa, Minnie, Me in Tennessee, is doing an awesome job with her new lifestyle channel called Hot Southern Mess. I believe that's the title, and I will link that at the bottom. Totally loving that. Not caught up on videos at all. I need to catch up on Michelle from Hello VSG 2016. But another thing that's coming up that's really exciting that I want to tell you all about is that on October 29th, which is less than a month away, it's basically 3 weeks away, 3 weeks and 2 days, I am going to be joining Joni from Smilinsshrinking in Mexico for her plastic surgery to be support for her. And so I am really excited. It's a very short trip for me because I live in South Texas and it's just over the border in Monterrey, Mexico. And I'm very excited, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm going to be eventually, maybe not right away, linking everything I've talked about today in the description box, including KETO Christina, and check her out. She's awesome. As well as the EMMERICH 30-day Ketogenic Cleanse. I'm excited that everyone is enjoying their keto right now, or very low carb. And I just want to say happy 3-day weekend. If you have a 3-day weekend like we do, enjoy it. I'm ready for this so big time. Life is nuts. It's the end of the quarter. All my kids have all their assignments and everything done. Praise God. And so we're getting there. I guess that's it. Happy ketoing. And I will talk to you next week. And God bless y'all from the heart of Texas. Take care. Bye.